keep. It's not necessarily the thing that came out. You are still giving credit in many cases for what you tried to do. He said, whoever intends to do a good deed, who's trying to help, but he doesn't accomplish it, Allah still gives him the reward as if he had done that good deed. He said, whoever intends to do a good deed, and he does that good deed, Allah gives him the reward of from 10 to 700 times the weight of that good deed. He said, whoever intends to do a bad deed, if you mean to do something wrong, and something prevents you, so that you don't follow through and don't do that thing you intended to do wrong, Allah still rewards you as if one good deed. And whoever intends to do a bad deed and follows through on a bad deed, he only gets the punishment of that one bad deed. It matters the judge finds it. The Muslim world needs to rethink how they judge that man, Elijah Muhammad, and look at their own criteria. Look at their own prophet as the basis of how they make a judgment. And I think we'll see a new attitude come to the people that he helped. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala left America to finally hear the message of Islam. We know Muslims are here. Muslims are here from the time of slavery. And Muslims came in waves after that, in immigration. In fact, I met some people from what they call the Mother Masters. Actually, they said there's two of them. One is in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and it still exists. But the other one is in another place in North Dakota, and it's gone. And for some people who are native here in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, on 79th Street, there actually were two little masjids, a large masjid and a small masjid that were built, and the people disappeared. The Muslims are gone. What happened is that every wave of Muslims that came here as free people, America was too powerful. America was too strong. And the people soon assimilated and forgot about al-Islam. And they gave up Muhammad. And they became Mo. And they gave up Samir. And they became Sam. And they gave up those beautiful names that Allah had blessed them with so that they could be part of the American fabric without problem. But in 1975, Allah blessed America to hear al-Islam and to hear the Quran and to accept that there was a new land and a new people. It wasn't just a Judeo-Christian society anymore. Muslims are on the scene. And all across the country, the masajid began sprouting up. The adhan began to be able to call openly. People started reclaiming their identity as Muslims. Jumah started happening. I know when I first heard this message, I had friends from overseas, and they had Jumah on Sunday. Because they said, people won't allow us to do Jumah on the day of Jumah. And had others who were practicing, they were doing Jumah on Thursday night. They said, well, technically, after sunset, it's Friday. And so that's what they were doing Jumah, because they were afraid. But the courage that had been placed in those people who had been robbed of al-Islam helped the rest of the Muslim world be proud of being Muslim as well. Muslims started calling themselves Muslim again instead of Muslim. Muslims started feeling good about themselves again. And you started hearing from every place, from every city, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah. Muslims started reaching out and started joining together once again and making the picture of the Hajj become a reality here in America. So you see Muslims from every race, every creed, every nationality, from every culture and background coming together. How is that possible if it's not the work of Allah? Allah has the power to save us all. No matter where our circumstances, no matter where we came from. If yesterday we were afraid to call ourselves Muslims, but today we declare ourselves as Muslims saying, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, Allah has the power to give us that kind of strength. So Allah looks at every one of our hearts and asks us a simple question. What do you want to do with your life? What kind of person do you want to be? Nobody else can determine that for you. What kind of person do you want for people to know you as? Nobody else can determine that for us. We have to look into our own self. And we have to say, I want the best. I want the best. I want the best life. I want the life that you intended for me, God. I want the life that says, when I go to sleep at night, I feel good. When I wake up in the morning, I say, praise be to God. And we may be struggling to get there. All of us in our own ways are struggling to get there. But we know that's the life that we want for ourselves. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finally answered that prayer. So that now all of us, no matter where we come from, can say that same prayer that Noah said. When he said, Alhamdulillah, Alladhi Najana min al-Qawmi al-Zalimin. Praise Allah, who saved us from the people who are oppressed. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of all systems of knowledge, and what follows thereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, and seek with everything that Allah has given us, has given you, actually speaking as an individual, the home of the hereafter, the home of the after. But do not neglect your share in this material world. I've probably said it here before, but I'll repeat it. You know that advice was given to the richest man in the world to do everything you can to get into the akhirah, but don't neglect your share of this material world. So everybody here who is not the richest man in the world, how do we think that advice should be applied to us? If the richest man in the world is told don't neglect your share of this world, how are we who are not wealthy allowing ourselves to neglect our share of this world? If Allah told us, don't forget your share of dunya. we letting sheikhs tell us dunya is bad? Don't have dunya. No dunya. La dunya, la dunya. No. How are we letting them tell us that? How are we letting them bamboozle us into being people with no accomplishment? You know, in this country, they say life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I don't know if people realize what that means, what pursuit of happiness means. It means to have a share of land, to have ownership of land. It means to have control of something in your grasp that says this belongs to you. Pursuit of happiness, they translate that and they interpret that to mean have fun. That's not what the original framers of the Constitution meant. They meant that people have the right to go after their own share of this material world. The same thing the law is telling us to do. They have the right to go after this. And so we should see ourselves as people, as Muslims in this land, going beyond the masjid, going beyond the school, going into business, going into owning homes, going into having neighborhoods. Chicago's a perfect place for it, because Chicago will have a Chinatown. Chicago will have a Greek town. Chicago will have a Polish town. Where's the Muslim town? Where's the place that Muslims can say, these blocks belong to us? Yes, you can live here, but these blocks belong to us. We're responsible for this area of the town. And the Chinese, what do they? They let you know when you're coming into their town, and come to the area. You look at the architecture, you say, am I in Beijing? Because they gave distinctive looks. But they have the businesses that they support. Muslims need to see themselves doing the same thing. And exercising that right to have control over parts of their town, parts of their city. To have responsibility, that's really the word, for their town. And to be able to step up like all other people. We have a crisis in this town, a crisis of violence, a crisis of unemployment. Muslims need to be able to step up and say, we have solutions. We have men of industry. We have people who are not accepting to be given a hand like this when our prophet said the hand like this is better. So if there are a few Muslims who would accept the responsibility for their own community, we could change this city. It doesn't take many. It just takes a few. And we have to do it in a way that says that everyone is welcome. Everybody is invited. Everybody matters. Everybody can be a part of this. So we don't say to people who are not Muslim, who want to help, no, you're not a Muslim. I can't let you help me. If they have good intention, if they are what we used to refer to as right-minded, and they want to do good, we should join with other people who want to do good as well to change the city. I believe it can be done. I know with the help of Allah it can be done. And it doesn't take the majority. It just takes the few. It always has only taken the few. To say we can do something different. We can make a difference. So these last few days of what they call African American History Month, I see the majority of the audience, majority of the people here are African American, but I'm not excluding any. I have to ask, how can we make our share better? How can we make our community better? How can we, not literally, but knock down the walls of the masses so that they can't contain us anymore? Can't contain our faith anymore? How can we make it so our faith is so big that a masjid is not big enough to hold all the people we want to reach? How can we help people who are struggling, who are looking for a better life? How can we put ourselves in a better situation first so that we can help them too? Because I look at my own self and I say I need to be a better person. I need to be a more capable person. I need to be a person with more resources in order to help myself and my family and my community. We should all be thinking like that as men. How can I do more? How can I be better? And what steps do I need to take that I didn't take yesterday that I can take tomorrow that will help me be better? God wants the best for us. He wants everything good for us. And we need to accept that. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا إننا آمنا وأطعنا وظلمنا في عذاب النار. ربنا أفرغ علينا صلوات المسلمين. ربنا أفرغ علينا صبر الأمة والسلام.